No, fuck you now. Bruce Lee's first again, you know. I want to know what your day consists of. Like, I'm not trying to insult you, but like, what? It's like you're always here first, Bruce Lee. Tell me what your day's like. Because it's almost like you wait around for me to go live, and I never schedule it. It's always random, innit? So it's almost like what you're doing like for the whole day, you know. Like I'm not dissing the viewers, am I? But I just want to know what he's doing, like to always be first. Bruce Lee. How does he do it? Who is he? Like, who is he? I really want to know who the fuck it is. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful, mate. I'm grateful. Thanks for tuning in, yeah? Shout out to Bruce Lee and the rest of the people tuning in. How's the weed? It's so nice, you know. Like, seriously, like. You know, people who suffer with anxiety and depression and suicide and fucking... I'm not saying me. I'm just talking in general, innit? It really chills you out, you know what I mean? And, what strain are you smoking? I don't know, man. I'm not that advanced. You know what I mean? I just walk around here, this area that I live in, and I just ask people if they've got any weed, and then someone gives me a bit of weed, and I just come back here with a few bottles as well, and just do a live. You know what I mean? Yes. Thanks for the super chats already. You know. You know what I mean? I don't normally do lives like in the week, but why not? How many days are in a week? There's 7 days in a week. So you know me doing like one live a week, it's not good enough, is it? You know Joe Rogan, like how often does he do his podcasts? Because I ain't really got into the whole Spotify thing, you know. So I don't really know. Like I just watch Joe Rogan's clips, you know, on YouTube. How often does he do his podcasts, you know, on Spotify, Joe Rogan? Because, like, there's 7 days in a week, isn't there? So, I've got to do more than one a week. The last one was about 4 days ago, wasn't it? Sean Larkin says, what do you think of Muhammad Ali's grandson boxing? I don't know. None of these guys live up to their famous dads, do they? Campbell Hatton, he ain't that good, is he? Nassim Hamid's sons, they're a bit shit as well. Fucking Conor Benn, he's alright. Chris Eubank Jr. Carlos Baldemir's daughter. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't want to get too fucking too sexual, too deep at this time. It's a bit early, isn't it? So we're only 5 minutes in, and someone's already talking about Carlos Baldemir, you know, banging his underage daughter. It's a bit too early, isn't it? Can you do a live from an alleyway one of these days? Yeah, that's a good idea, you know. I told you before, didn't I? I've heard a lot of conversations, you know, when I've been in alleyways pissing. I've heard like women like walking past the alleyway, you know, not knowing I'm there, and I like overheard the conversation, and one of the women said, "Oh, I need a shit." Yeah. A woman said that she needed a shit, you know, to her little woman mate. And like, you know, if she knew I was there, she wouldn't have said that, would she? She wouldn't have said that at all, man. another time, two women were walking. Like, I was in the alleyway pissing, and they were like walking, two women. And like, they just left a nightclub, and like, one of them said to the other one, "Oh, I need a shag. I really need a shag." But there was no one in the club to shag. But I really need a shag. I really need a fuck. That's what she said, you know, this little woman. She was really horny, you know, really fucking sexually charged. And she said to her mate, "Oh, I really need a shag," but there was no one to fuck. And it's just interesting, you know, hearing those kind of conversations, because women don't really talk like that, do they? You know, like, unless they're like behind closed doors. So I like listening in, you know, to people's conversations, you know, without them knowing. Postman Pat gave me a nice little super chat saying, "Who would win in the streets, Coogan or Sonny Edwards? And Sonny has got a big stick. Be safe." Thanks for that super chat, yeah, Postman Pat. Coogan against Sonny Edwards, and Sonny Edwards has got a stick. It depends, innit? It depends what's on the line. You know, if you said to Coogan, like, if you lose this street fight to Sonny Edwards, you know, your daughter, she's gonna get fucking murdered. So, like, you know, like, it's mind over matter, innit? I remember reading about this story, about this old man and this old woman. And you know, the old man, her husband, he was like fixing the car, you know, out in the front garden. He was like under the car, you know, fixing the car, this like 80-year-old man. And the car like fell on him. And you know, his wife, she was like washing the dishes, you know, looking out the window, and she seen the car fall on her 80-year-old husband. And she like ran outside, you know, panicking. And she like picked up the car. You know, this 80-year-old woman, she picked it up because it's, you know, mind over matter. She seen her fucking old husband, you know, trapped under a car. So, you know, her like panicking, she like ran out and she like lifted up the car, you know, because it's mind over matter, innit? You can read about that story on the internet, you know, if you think I'm lying. It's a true story, innit? Has Mason Greenwood got a better knockout record with women than you have, Tyan? You know what? I read about that Man United football player. Like, I don't know. Some woman saying he raped her and that, but we've heard it before, haven't we? I've had a woman accuse me of rape and I never even fucked her. You know, she was just upset because I didn't give her a lift home. I told her to get a taxi. Some fat bitch. And she said, "Well, if you don't take me home, I'm going to tell the police that you raped me." You know what I mean? So I've heard it all before from women. You know, they're just trying to get a quick payout, aren't they, some of them? So this footballer, this Man United football player, I don't know. You remember Ched Evans? He got like falsely accused of rape, didn't he? And he got a few years in prison. And the fucking woman who pretended that he raped her, she got a bit of compensation. And, you know, after some new evidence came to the forefront, you know, they realised he was innocent. So yeah, anytime I hear that some kind of celebrity has raped a woman, it just goes in one ear and out the other. But some men are rapists, aren't they? Carlos Baldemir. Who else? What's that guy who fucked up Tony Bellew? Superman, Adonis Stevenson. He got done for pimping out underage girls, you know, beating the fuck out of them. So a lot of men are a bit dodgy, but yeah, I don't know about this footballer. Can you remember Adam Johnson? He was another footballer, Premiership footballer, you know, getting about probably 50 grand a week, and he like got locked up, you know, for banging like a 14-year-old. And it's like, you know, if you're getting that kind of money, like, why do you need to kind of stoop to those kind of depths? You know, if you like young girls and that, you can watch like Pornhub, you know, and you can like, there's a certain category, you know, of like actually overage women, but they dress up like little girls, you know, in the school uniform and, you know, the pigtails and that. So, you know, if you're really into that kind of stuff, like, just watch some like actual women like pretending to be underage. You know, if you're really into that kind of stuff, because if you're getting 50 grand a week, it's too much to lose, isn't it? R.I.P. Eubank's tattoo hairline. I know, it's fucked up, isn't it? That was like it's been a bit of a boring build-up on it, you know, Chris Eubank against Liam Williams. It's been a bit boring on it. I think the fight's going to be really interesting, but you know, the build-up, it hasn't really been that good, has it? They did like a little, the gloves are off, you know, with Johnny Nelson in the middle and Eubank Jr. He kind of, I think he lost the exchange, you know, when Liam Williams brought up the hairline and the fake beard. I'm telling you, you know, these men, they're acting a bit fruity, you know. They're acting a bit too feminine, you know. When Coogan interviewed Cesaro the other day, and fucking Cesaro said that he wanted to like film Coogan, and Coogan was like, "Oh no, my hair, I haven't done my hair," you know what I mean? You know, and then he's pouting like that and acting all fucking feminine. Yeah. So these men today, they're acting a bit fruity, aren't they? Who else? Conor Benn, he's got a little beard transplant. Carl Froch's got a new nose. Joshua, he like plucks his eyebrows, don't he? Did you see that Snapchat of him like getting his nails done? You know, his toenails. You lot are fucking dissing me in the comments about my nails, yeah. But come on, man. Eddie Earn. What do you think of Eddie Earn? He's starting to fuck up, innit? He kind of like lost the purse bids, didn't he, to Fish Eyes. What do you think of that? Do you think Eddie Earn's going downhill or what? You know, he failed to like meet the Kelbrook Amir Khan fight, didn't he? You know, Sky, they're doing alright, aren't they? Chris Eubank, Liam Williams, Kelbrook, Amir Khan. You know what I mean? They're doing well. So I think Eddie Earn, I don't know if he's starting to go downhill. You know, his little fake prospect, Joshua, got messed up again. Fucking Canelo, he's kind of gone to Al Heyman on it. So Eddie Earn, he's not really delivering, is he? He just lost the purse bid as well, you know, to Fish Eyes. And like, you know, Eddie Earn, he like, you know, before that, he like used to say, oh, you know, Fish Eyes, he's not really doing well financially. You know, you can go online, you know, and look at his finances. You know, you can go on a website called Company's House, and you can look at Frank Warren's finances. He's not really doing well. You know what I mean? And then fucking Fish Eyes, like, you know, destroyed Eddie Earn, you know, in the purse bids. Really messed him up. You know, after Eddie Earn talking all that shit about how much money he's got. It's like Chris Eubank Jr., isn't it? Remember when Nassim Hamed said that, oh, Eubank Jr. is walking into these big houses like he's going to buy them, like he's some big superstar, but, you know, which camera shall I look in, you know, to tell him to retire? That's what Nas said, didn't he? So it's kind of like Eddie Earn, isn't it? He kind of talks all this shit about Fisher isn't really doing well, but he kind of destroyed him. And then Eddie Earn, he ran off to America, didn't he? He went all quiet. You know, if he won that purse bid, you know, he would have been all in the videos, you know, like P. Diddy. He would have been all in the videos with Cougar Money, talking about how he fucking blew Fish Eyes out the water and, you know, really messed him up. But now he's gone into hiding, Eddie Earn. He's like conveniently like snuck off, you know, to America. Sean Larkin, Tyan, this is my last £5 and my children are starving and begged me not to donate it to you, but I told them to be safe and to allow it, so be safe. Yep. Are they your kids? Are they your biological kids? Because you might get with a woman who's got kids, yeah. You might spend a load of money on them and start to love them and, you know, really like start to love them like your own. And then the woman, she might fuck off. I told you when I first moved to Sheffield, yeah, to train at the Ingle gym, I used to share a house with this Jamaican guy. And he used to work in a dead-end factory job, yeah. And he's with this woman who had a kid, and he used to like treat her kid, you know, like his own. And then one day she cheated on him, you know, and he came back to the house, you know, crying, saying, oh, I fucking love that kid like my own. You know, and she's done that to me. She's cheated on me. So it's like, it's too big of a gamble, isn't it? If you get with a woman who's got kids and you spend money on the kids and you spend time on the kids, and you start to love the kids and the woman cheats on you, you've got no access to the kids at all. You've got no access. So it's a big gamble, isn't it? It's a big gamble, man. You know Dan Bilzerian? He said in an interview, you know, that like when he was young, he like realized, you know, that he didn't want to go through all that trying to chat up women business, you know, and making conversations with them and pretending to be interested in them, you know, just to fuck them. So Dan Bilzerian, he said that he knew that he had to get the bag. He had to become a success and make that money, you know, so women would go to him and beg him. So those little bimbos that he's got around him, I follow him on Instagram, innit, Dan Bilzerian. And you know those little bimbos that he's got around him, they've got to try and blowjob their way into his house, you know, to try and get some hype. Because he's got a load of followers and he can really help their OnlyFans pages. So they've got to beg him and fucking try and blowjob their way into his life. And that's the way you want to fucking get it, don't you? Fucking hell, this is only a cigarette, you know, and I'm coughing up my lungs like a little hoe. Shout out to G-Man Boxing again. Yeah, always donating, you know. This guy is he's generous, you know. I want to start giving back to the viewers, you know, when the crypto starts to pick up again. It's been a big fucking crash. But when it picks up again, I'm going to have to like start giving out money to the viewers. You know, asking for PayPals. and just donating because people are chucking money at me, and I don't really think I deserve it. You know, I think these lives are they're a bit shit, aren't they? But it's one of them, innit? I woke up the other day, and I got a message from this woman, you know, on Instagram. I don't know who she is, but she like messaged me saying, "Oh, I've just watched your last live and I found it really funny and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot better than the one before." Yeah, so I'd like to show you the video that a woman sent me as well, you know, on Facebook. She sent me a video of her rubbing her cunt, and she was like really nice, and she basically messaged me saying, "Oh, my ex-boyfriend, you know, he really likes your videos, so, you know, would you be able to give me a shout out in one of your videos, because it will get him really jealous, you know, if you pretend that me and you have like hooked up and that." She sent me a really nice video of her rubbing her cunt. I want to show you in it, but YouTube are a bit sensitive. I might put it on my Patreon. Sean Larkin says, "How much have you lost in crypto altogether?" Depends how you look at it. I lost probably about 15 grand in about a month, because I got greedy and I started like borrowing like big chunks of money from the exchange, you know, by me putting down like deposits of like 5 grand. You know, it's a bit of a long story in it, but I kind of lost about 15 grand. But I hold a lot of crypto as well, and it's really gone up in value, so the appreciation of the crypto that I've just held on to, you know, it's easily outdone the 15 grand loss that I took, you know, by leverage trading. But yeah, what do you think of the boxing coming up this weekend? I'm really looking forward to it, you know, even though the build-ups have been a bit shit. What do you think? You know that, what's his name? What's Eubank's cousin called? Eubank. Harlem. He like got interviewed in there. I've been watching a few of his interviews today, you know, Harlem Eubank. And he said, like the interview said, "Oh, you must be torn, you know, between like supporting Liam Williams, who's a gym mate of yours, and supporting Chris Eubank Jr., who's your cousin. You must be really torn." And he said, "I'm not torn at all. I'm fucking, I want my cousin to win. I don't care if I'm in the same gym as Liam Williams. You know what I mean? I don't know him. We train at different times, so I don't really care. I want Eubank Jr. to win." That's what he said, didn't he? And it's true, isn't it? Just because you train in the same gym as somebody, it don't mean anything. Don't mean anything. I've told you before, when I used to box on like boxing shows with somebody from the gym, sometimes it depends who the person is, innit? But sometimes I'd want them to lose, you know, when I won, because it means like when we go back to the gym, he's like the loser and I'm the winner, so I get all the praise, you know what I mean? If he won as well, I'd have to like share the praise, and that might sound a bit selfish, but it's just how it is, isn't it? It's like Kugan with the whole pie, you know. He's like, I don't know, man. I just think it's like when Eddie Earn puts on a big boxing event, you know, and some little some little fraudster. He'll like buy all the tickets or a big chunk of them and sell them, you know, for triple the price. But you have to do what you have to do, innit? You know, Coogan is taking all that drug money in it from MTK Global, but I would happily accept that money as well. But yeah, Harlem Eubank, he kind of shown that loyalty, you know, to his cousin, and that's what it's about, innit? Like, what not everyone's about that. You know, Johnny Nelson. You know, when Nassim Hamed fucked off Brendan and went to go and train with Emmanuel Stewart. You know, Nas, he tried to like steal Johnny Nelson off Brendan. You know what I mean? But you know, Johnny Nelson, he's got that loyalty. He's got that loyalty. You know, when Adam Booth didn't take Liam Williams on the pads, you know, for that public workout, Johnny Nelson was like, oh, I don't get that. I'm not into that at all. It's not loyal, man. You know what I mean? I'd want Brendan there every step of the way. That's what he said, didn't he, Johnny Nelson? So, you know, when Nassim Hamed was trying to steal Johnny Nelson off Brendan, Johnny was having none of it. You know, he stayed loyal to Brendan. So, you know, because Johnny Nelson stayed loyal to Brendan and he fucked Nas off. You know, when Johnny Nelson boxed Carl Thompson in a world cruiserweight title fight, you know, Nassim Hamed, he turned up with all his brothers and they were like wearing Carl Thompson hoodies, you know what I mean? You know, trying to upset Johnny Nelson, that's a bit immature, innit? It's a bit immature, you know, from Nas and his brothers. Shout out to Zach Mitchell for the nice little £9 super chat. Get some fireballs in. GOAT YouTube channel. Yep. GOAT. But yeah, these lives, they're not the best, are they? I need to put in a bit more effort, you know, and do like some normal type videos, man. But I just can't be bothered. These are a lot more money, you know what I mean? So, and there's no editing involved. So, you know, Coogan, yeah? You know when he did that Zoom chat with Audley Harrison? That was about a week ago, wasn't it? So, you know, I did a video on that and I was going to edit it and put in photos and really edit it. You know, do a normal video. But if I did, I would have just been putting the video up now. And like, Audley Harrison's old news, innit? No one cares about him. He's fucking trying to be relevant. But he's old news, innit? So, you know, if I put a video up about him now, it wouldn't be that interesting, would it? R.I.P. Dillian White. He's gone really quiet. Yeah, he has kind of gone quiet, hasn't he? Some people are saying he's kind of fucking pussied out, you know, from his fight with Tyson Fury. But I think Dillian White's like that anyway, isn't he? You know, he used to call himself the lone wolf, didn't he? You know, he's got his dogs. You know, Dillian, yeah, he reminds me of DMX. You know, DMX. I was watching an interview the other day, you know, on Vlad TV, a really good YouTube channel. And Vlad, he interviewed someone who was mates with DMX. And he said that, you know, DMX, he didn't really have any mates. He was like a lone wolf, you know, like Dillian White. And he said that DMX's friend, his homie, he said Dillian used to sleep, like, when he was broke, he used to, like, sleep on this roof of this building, you know, and he had his dogs with him, you know, for security. So that's kind of like what Dillian's like. You know, Dillian, he loves his dogs, don't he? He's not. I don't think he's a people person. Yeah, shout out to the YB's Grinder account for the £5 super chat. Who wins in the streets? Gareth the Arsehole Davis or Adam Suspicious Hard Drive Smith? Yep, it's got to be that Arsehole Davis, hasn't it? Because I remember when he kind of had like a little face off with Carl Froch, and he like threw a kick, and the kick looked quite high. You know what I mean? He looked like he'd done a bit of martial arts, but still, yeah, I think he'd doing Adam Smith, you know. Adam the Hard Drive Smith, is that what you said? Yeah. Tyan, haven't you got any nail clippers? Them claws are worse than your smoking technique. I never cut my nails, you know. I know that sounds a bit disgusting, but they just like drop off, you know, whenever they feel like it. And I'm a bit weird. Like, I like to, you know, when there's a bit of skin on my finger, I like to like peel back the skin, yeah. You know, really peel it back, you know, until it starts to bleed. You know, when it starts to bleed, it like gives me an adrenaline rush. So like, you see my finger there, you see all that fucking blood. There's a bit of blood there, isn't there? Like, there was a bit of skin on my finger, and I like peeled it back. You know, and I really started to fucking get a little adrenaline rush, you know, when I start to bleed. Some people are like that, aren't they? You know, Ricky Hatton, he started slitting his wrists, didn't he? But I don't know if that was an adrenaline rush or whether to just end his life, you know, after he got fucked up by fucking Pacquiao and Mayweather. How's your liver doing? I ain't really had a drink, you know, since the last live, so I've tried to cut back, you know what I mean, but I like a drink. You know what I mean? I like a drink, man. Fuck, you know. I went all those years without drinking, you know, when I was boxing. And I feel like I'm making up for it, because you know these videos here, I get paid a lot more money than I did in boxing. Yeah, I didn't have a successful boxing dad, you know, like fucking Campbell Hatton. I'm not trying to give off a load of excuses, I'm just talking, innit? When are you going to talk about UFOs? That's a good question, that is. UFOs. Because I thought about this in the past, innit? Like, I think I heard Joe Rogan talking about it as well, and it's like, you know, when people say, oh, do you believe that there's life on other planets? But really, you should be saying, like, why wouldn't there be? If you know what I mean, like, why wouldn't there be? You know what I mean? So, like, out of all the billions and billions of other planets, there's life on only one of them, Earth. That's a bit arrogant, innit? I think humans are a bit self-centered. They think that like they're the most important things in the universe. You know what I mean? Why would there only be like life on one planet? Like, I don't understand. Why would they be? You know, because like some people say we live like a certain distance from the sun, so we're able to get that energy, you know, from the sun that we need to live, and the water, and we live close enough to the whatever, you know, to get that sun and the water, the fluid. But there's billions of other planets, so surely they probably live next to some kind of sun. It's too far out of our brains, isn't it, to know. But yeah, I'd say there's life on other planets. Fucking. How much have you got in cryptocurrency? I've got like thousands and thousands and thousands like tied up, and I could sell it today, but it's a bit down. So, you know, there's been a bit of a market crash, so I'm just waiting for it to pick up, and then I'm gonna sell and just fucking get out of here, man. Start living life, you know what I mean? Just fucking. I like these lives. I do like the lives, if I'm being honest, but. You know, Liam Williams, he said that he was so bored of Sheffield. You know, he used to like wake up in the morning, look out the window, see the gym. And he'd have to have about 5 cups of coffee, you know, to like give himself the energy, the boost, you know, to go to the gym. Then he'd go to the gym, train. And then he'd go home and look out the window and see the gym again, you know, and he was just bored, wasn't he? So he went to go and train with Adam Booth. Imagine if Jimmy Savile had made alien contact with alien kids. Yeah. I was reading about Gary Glitter the other day, you know, on Wikipedia. That guy was a bit dodgy, wasn't he? Gary Glitter. I was reading about him on Wikipedia, and he was a big time nonce, wasn't he? So he like moved to one of those countries, you know, like Vietnam, where like being a fucking nonce is okay. So he moved there, you know, in Cambodia, you know, those kind of dodgy places where you're allowed to fucking do that kind of activity. And that Gary Glitter, he was a bit dumb, because like he had like a load of you know, indecent images of kids, you know, on his laptop. And then his laptop broke, so he took it to like PC World, you know, in England, to get it fixed by a laptop technician. You know what I mean? Why would you do that? You know, if you got a load of fucking dodgy images on your laptop, like why would you take it to a fucking laptop specialist to have a look at it? It's fucking stupid, isn't it? Type this into YouTube. Kugan Cassius, the pound for pound YouTuber. Right, let me type this in a minute. Kugan Cassius, pound for pound YouTuber. Or is this when he's fighting with that guy? He's arguing with him, innit? That's Frank Warren's little right-hand man, Andy Ayling. You know, and Coogan, he's trying to like, you know, act all macho and that. You know, with his bent legs. Look, Coogan's trying to... He always puts it on like the vulnerable, don't he? You know, like Prince Patel and some fucking Frank Warren's right-hand man. Look at that. That guy's about 60 years old, man. Fuck, he's got glasses. You know what I mean? What's all that about? Let's have a look at that. Coogan. He's always like targeting the vulnerable, isn't he? Have you noticed? That guy's fucking old. He's got glasses. He's Frank Warren's right-hand man. Coogan's like bullying him, isn't he? Why don't he ever say anything to me though? Like, you know, all the things I've said about him. You know, he can't confront me like that, can he? If you noticed. You know, he has to tell me to be safe, don't he? Be safe. And then, like... Why hasn't he ever done that to me? I don't get it. Like... These guys are vulnerable, aren't they? Be safe. People keep saying, like, why doesn't Coogan interview Frank Warren? Why is it always Umar, IFL Umar? But that's why, innit? That's Frank Warren's right-hand man. So obviously Coogan, he can't really go to Frank Warren's little headquarters, you know, because he'll fucking come into contact with that guy there. Those legs are bent, aren't they? They like bend in, you know, at the knee. He like bends in, like. Coogan. Yeah, you know what? I found that video, you know, of Coogan like dancing and that. I found the video, man. Yeah, that's the video there, innit? You see that there? Can you see what's going on here? Basically, yeah, there's like a fucking, hold on a minute, let me just put that on repeat, innit? There's a little DAZN launch party, you know, and they're all having a good time and that. And they're all dancing, you know, in sync. And Coogan's trying to get involved in it, but it's not happening, is it? You know, he can't fucking fit in, can he? He's desperate to try and like be accepted, but it don't work, does it? Did you know that he got his head like forced under the water? You know, when he was a kid. He got bullied, man. He got fucking bullied. So he tries to fit in, you know, and he don't really fit in, does he? It's sad to see that. I feel a bit sorry for him sometimes. Sometimes I think I go over the top, man. You know when you get your head forced under the water in the swimming baths, you know, when you're a kid? It probably has a little effect on you, don't it? Probably gives you that post-traumatic stress disorder. So Coogan like tries to fit in, you know, with these little dance routines and that. And he tries to like... Where are those cigarettes? How the fuck have I had 5 cigarettes already though? Don't feel sorry for Coogan, he's got the bag. Yeah, but some people, they've got the bag. How much money did that Robin Williams have? And he committed suicide, didn't he? Yeah, he fucking committed suicide, man. He was in some good films. He was in like Mrs. Doubtfire. He was in Hook. What else was he in? He was in some other good films. So he had money, but he was really depressed. He was fucking depressed, one of Robin Williams, and he like killed himself. And like Coogan used to be depressed. He used to be suicidal, man. I remember him saying that. I remember him telling me that he thinks he'll die by suicide, but that was before he had a kid, innit? So you know his little kid, it's probably giving him a bit of meaning. You know his little daughter and that. You know, Coogan's daughter, she's kind of turned out to look alright, hasn't she? I was kind of hoping that she'd look a bit fucking messed up. You know, so I could like do videos about it, you know, on here and get a load of content. But she's turned out to look alright, hasn't she, Coogan's daughter? He's fucking lucky, isn't he? Because he looks a bit dodgy, don't he? You know, when he was trying to fit in that little dance routine, he looked a bit out of place. So, you know, The Elephant Man. Have you ever watched that film? It's a good film, you know. It's a fucking good film, man. Let me have a look at this guy, The Elephant Man. Yeah, look at that. That's a bit sad, isn't it? You know, looking like that. I remember when I watched that film when I was a kid, and I was a bit upset. I felt a bit sorry for him, you know, looking like that. And he used to like leave the house, you know, with a bag on his head and that. He used to leave the house with a bag on his head, and like people would take the piss out of him and stuff like that. It was fucked up. And he couldn't go to sleep properly, you know, because like if he laid on that part there, he would have died. So yeah, that was a bit hot. That was a bit fucked up, man. Yeah, fucking. I remember watching that film feeling a bit sorry for him, you know what I mean? So it's kind of what Coogan's going through, isn't it? He was a bit ugly though, wasn't he, The Elephant Man? Do you think he... I don't know, he was like a little celebrity, you know, they used to put him on show, you know, at the circus. So he was like a little bit of a celebrity, and like women love that kind of thing, don't they? They love like celebrities. So he probably did get a bit of posse, innit? I don't know. They didn't really show that bit in the film. But yeah, he reminds me of Coogan a little bit. Shout out to NR8 for the £1.79 super chat. Who wins in a fight, Hasbulla or David Diamante? Is he still alive, him, or what? I haven't really heard anything. I don't know if he's died out. I know he had a little crash. But what's happened since? Like, we haven't really heard anything, have we? Do you think he's a good announcer? I don't think he is, to be honest with you. I don't think he's all that. You know, he kind of stands out, you know, because of his dreadlocks, but I don't think he's really that good. What does he say? Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? That's not that good, is it? That's not that good, man. I think Jimmy Lennon Jr. was the best announcer. I think Michael Buffer was overrated, but yeah. Shout out to Bruce Lee. Where's the weed? You know what? I only had one spliff, you know. I had like one left over, you know, from the last video that I did. So, yeah, I ran out of weed, so I'm going to have to go and puff on some cigarettes. Yeah, no weed, but yeah, Bruce Lee says, where's the weed? Also, check your Facebook inbox. I will send you some packaged professional edibles. I sent a message. My name is Greg. Be safe. Yeah. Is that the Bruce Lee, yeah? The Bruce Lee guy, yeah, that's him. Thanks for the super chat. And yeah, send me some edibles, because I like being on this level. You know, I've been drinking tea all day, and I've just been bored out of my fucking brains. So, you know, as soon as I started having a few glasses of this, and a few little smokes, it's put me on a really good vibe. I had some edibles before. I used to be on this dating app, yeah, and I went to go and meet this woman, and we were sitting down at her house, and we was eating like edibles, you know, and we was drinking, and on such a good vibe, I fucking banged her. And after I fucked her, like, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and this woman, she had like this kind of phobia, and the phobia was that she couldn't have a shit, you know, in the same building as somebody else. Like, so if there was someone in the building that she was in, she couldn't shit. And like, if she was at work, I used to work with her as well, and you know, if she needed a shit, she'd have to like leave the job and go all the way home, you know, for a shit, because she couldn't do it. She had some kind of phobia. I don't know, I'm not really sure what that phobia is called, but she couldn't really shit in front of people. And you know, like, she kind of kicked me out, innit, because she needed a shit. And it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. I was about 15 miles away from my house. I wasn't driving at the time, so like, when she kicked me out, yeah, I had to like walk along the motorway, you know, in the fucking pitch black. But you know, because I had some edibles, I was like laughing, you know, when I was walking on the motorway. I was fucking laughing my head off. So, you know, edibles and weed and that, it puts me on a good vibe. I've been drinking tea all day, you know, all day until I started doing these lives, and I feel much better, you know, having a little drink and you people dissing my hairline, yeah? I had a little trim today, you know, in case there's some women watching. Yeah, my looks have gone downhill. I used to look a lot better, you know, when I used to box. But, you know that live that I did the other day, you know, when I said I'm not into black women? You know, because of Whoopi Goldberg and people like Oprah Winfrey. So I said I'm not into black women in it. So this black woman on Snapchat, I don't know who she is. She like sent me a photo of her tits, and she like captioned it saying something like, "Are you sure you don't like black women?" Do you know what I mean? So you know these videos, they kind of help me out a bit. They help me out, man. Missing. Dillian the Chilean White was last seen in Argos. Yeah, he's gone a bit quiet, but I've been through this. He's like DMX. DMX used to sleep on a roof on his own, you know, with his dogs. So some people are like that, aren't they? Some people are just like animals, animal people. They're not really, but they're more like, they don't really like humans. Because like Dillian White, he told a story in an interview with Coogan. He said when he was young and he was in Jamaica, you know, someone hit him over the head with a hammer. Yeah, that's what Dillian said. Someone hit him over the head with a hammer. So he's probably got a bit of post-traumatic stress disorder, and he's probably not a people person. You know, after he got hit over the head with a hammer. And like Coogan, you know, when Dillian White said that, Coogan like moved on, you know, to something else. Coogan said, yeah, how's your training camp going? You know what I mean? How can you move on from something like that? Dillian getting hit with a hammer over the head. You've got to get into that story, haven't you? This is what separates really good YouTubers like Joe Rogan and Vlad TV from fucking ordinary YouTubers. If you're interviewing somebody and they say they get hit with a hammer, they got hit with a hammer, you're supposed to go into that story like, why did you get hit? Like, what happened? Did it affect you at all? Did you get post-traumatic stress disorder? Did you become a bit of a recluse? You know what I mean? Did you fuck people off? What happened? Go into the story, innit? Did the guy get arrested? What was it about? You know, there's all these questions that open up. You know, from Dillian White saying that he got hit over the head with a hammer. You know, and Dillian said that, like, Coogan, like, moved on, didn't he? Coogan fucked up, man. IFL is not journalism. It's just light entertainment. Well, I'll tell you what would be really entertaining. Would be knowing what happened with Dillian getting hit over the head with a hammer. Yeah, that story would have fucking been more interesting than, yeah, Dillian, how's your training camp going? Yeah, you know what I mean? Ask him some good questions, man. Ask him about the hammer. Ask him about the B sample. You know what I mean? This guy says the same comment every single live. Don King says, "Why are you so jealous of Coogan?" Laughing face. He like says the same thing every single video. I'm not jealous of Coogan, like, I'm genuinely not, like, but like, I do want to live the life. I do want to fucking get with those kind of bimbos, you know, that Coogan's with in that photo. I do want to go to Dubai. I do want to fucking go to Miami and Las Vegas, you know, like Coogan does. But I'm not like jealous, if you know what I mean. It's just more like I need to get to that level, you know, of a Dan Bilzerian and a fucking Coogan. I need to try and get to that level in it. That's why I want the bag. Yeah, it's not that I'm jealous in it. I've got a cousin, yeah, who was a Premiership footballer, Jermaine Pennant, and he played for Arsenal. And you know, when we were kids, we were like 14 and we were at school together. He was like the fucking main man, you know, in terms of football. He was the fucking main man. And I really used to love football back in the days, and I really wanted to be a footballer. But you know, Jermaine, he always got picked first. He was always getting praised. He was in the local newspaper for being a brilliant footballer. And me, I was just a little nobody, you know, like I was in boxing. being in the shadows of Kell Brook and Johnny Nelson and fucking Junior Witter. That's what I was like in football as well. And Jermaine Pennant, my cousin, he was like excelling. You know, he got signed by Arsenal. You know, and them top teams. But I wasn't like jealous. Like I was happy for him, but I was also a bit bitter. But not to the point where I wanted him to like break his legs and never be able to play football again. It was more like, oh, fuck you know, he's doing well. You know, I want to do well as well, but I didn't make it. You know, like in boxing. I used to love football, man. I used to really love. I wish I still loved football. You know what I mean? So I'd do football videos because football's a lot bigger than boxing. You know what I mean? Like, go and ask the average person in the streets who Wayne Rooney is, and they will know him. But you know, if you ask them who Callum Smith is, they won't know him. Shout out to David for the £5 super chat. Did you see Cali off his nut again at the Eubank press conference? Be safe. Yep. I seen it. It was a bit of a boring press conference, wasn't it? You know, that fucking new promoter on the scene for Sky Sports. You know, Ben Schlong. You know that Ben Schlong, he's not really interesting, is he? You know, he tries to like get by on his little pretty boy looks and that, but he's just boring, isn't he? I was watching the press conference and I've seen a few of his interviews and like, he's a bit boring, isn't he? That Ben Schlong. And it made you kind of miss Eddie Hearn, didn't it? Like, you know, Eddie Hearn. We like it when he fucks up, you know, when he fucks up with the purse bids and he loses Canelo and fucking whoever else, and his big fake prospect Joshua gets whooped. We love it, don't we? You know, when Eddie Hearn gets on the mic after a Joshua win and Eddie Hearn gets booed, we fucking love it, don't we? So we like it when Eddie Hearn fucks up, like even when he was crying, you know, in that interview with one of those IFL fuckers. I can't remember what he was crying about. I think some boxer got messed up, seriously. So Eddie Hearn, he put on a few little tears, didn't he? And it was quite nice to see him crying a bit. So we kind of like it when he fucks up, don't we? But I kind of missed him, you know, at that press conference, that Chris Eubank Jr., Liam Williams press conference. You know, when that Ben Schlong was fucking boring the life out of us. We kind of missed Eddie Hearn a bit, didn't we? You know, apples and pears and fucking, you know, he's got good banter, hasn't he? Even though we like it when he fucks up. You remember when that guy, when Joshua got smacked up and Joshua walked out the ring and Eddie Hearn was behind him. Some guy said, "Eddie, you pussy." And Eddie Hearn said, "What you say? What you say? What you say? You shit yourself now, you pussy." Oh, fuck, you know, Eddie Hearn and his feelings. What you say? Yeah, he's going downhill, man. And it's good to see, but he has got good banter, hasn't he? He got interviewed, didn't he, by Michelle Hoare Phelps. You know, in America, Eddie Hearn, he tried to like sneak off to America, you know, after he fucked up with the purse bids. He tried to like quickly sneak out the country, didn't he? You know, because he was getting a bit of stick, you know, from the British public. So he quickly like snuck out of the country, didn't he, Eddie Hearn? But then when he was in America, you know, Michelle Horfeld, she like cornered him and said, "Oh, what happened, man? You fucked up with the purse bids. What happened?" You know what I mean? You've gone quiet. What's happened, Eddie Hearn? And Eddie Hearn was like, "Well, you know, you say I've gone quiet, but I've just, you know, I'm not really into like social media as much as I used to be, so I haven't really read the tweets." Yeah, how convenient. How convenient that you're no longer on social media as much now that you're getting slandered for fucking up with the purse bids. It's fucking convenient, innit? Eddie Hearn's always on Instagram. He's always posting, but you know, when he fucks up, he kind of goes a bit low key. People dissing my big forehead. What do you think of this little haircut here? Do you think it looks alright? I went to the barbers here, and like, you know, barbers, you know how they give you a load of small talk? You know, hairdressers and barbers, they give you a load of small talk, don't they? They say, "Oh, how you doing? Have you been work today? Oh, it's cold outside, isn't it?" They give you small talk, don't they? So, you know, my barber, he was giving me a bit of small talk today. So I said to him, like, I made up a lie in it. I was trying to be interesting, and I told him that I'm going to Dubai. You know, in 4 weeks. I was just like making up lies, you know, to try and sound a bit interesting. So I told my barber that I'm going to Dubai, you know, in 4 weeks, you know, to try and sound a bit interesting. I lied to him. So, you know, when I told him I'm going to Dubai, he was like, "Are you? Are you really? I need some tobacco, you know, from Dubai, you know, like specialist tobacco." So, I don't know. Is your hairdresser Pakistani? He's not Pakistani. I think he's from Syria. He looks like Khabib. He really looks like Khabib, you know what I mean? And I pretended I was going to Dubai, so he asked me to pick him up some tobacco. So I don't know what to do now. I'm going to have to go to another barber's, because it was a lie. I was just trying to sound interesting. Have you ever done that before? Have you ever pretended to be interesting, more interesting than you are? So you start making up lies. That's what I did with the barber. You know, you make up lies, don't you? You know, trying to sound a bit more impressive. I used to be on this dating app, yeah, and I used to tell women that I'm a world champion boxer. Because I had like a load of boxing photos up, you know, of like me and Kell Brook. And I used to tell women, you know, that I was a world champion boxer, you know, just lying to them. But a lot of these women are fake anyway, aren't they? You know, with their filtered pictures and their fucking fancy angles. You know, and they're pouting like Coogan and just fake as fuck. So, you know, me saying I was a world champion, or I am a world champ, it goes both ways, don't it? I've come here to smash his hair. What, my hair? Yeah, my hair's a bit fucked up, innit? But I don't know. You know, you lot keep dissing my hairline, yeah? Yeah, what do you think of that? That hairline's a bit fucked up, innit? You know what I mean? My hairline's better than that, innit? You know, my fucking hairline looks a lot better than that. You know, that hairline there is no good, is it? That hairline needs some parliamentary procedure, don't it? Yeah, that hairline's a bit fucked up, man. Chris Eubank Sr., he's quite interesting, isn't he? You know, Eubank Jr., he's a bit boring, isn't he? He tries to wear these big coats, you know, to try and, like, be interesting, but he hasn't really got anything about him, has he? he ain't got anything about him, you know, of interest. He's a bit fucking boring. But you know, this English with the big forehead, you know, the big hairline and the big high hairline. He stands out, don't he? I like him. You know, he's lived a wild life. You know, he went out and banged a woman, you know, and got her pregnant, and she had a kid called Nathaniel Wilson. You know, and Eubank Senior fucked him off, didn't he? He threw him under the bus, didn't he? You know, like the black quitter. Yeah, I'm just having a piss in a bottle. Come on, man. Sorry about this, but you can just read the comments, can't you? This is why I feel like I can do lives like every day, because you can just look at the comments, and the comments are better than the videos, man. The comments are better than what I'm talking about. Hold on, I need to go and get a cigarette in it. Just give me 1 second. Let's read the comments. Go and get a quick cigarette. Oh, come on, man. Go and get a cigarette. We're back. These lives are all over the place, man, but how long's it been now? 1 hour. That's too long, isn't it? Yeah, that'll do, you know. I'm gonna fuck this off. I'm just waiting for this Eubank Liam Williams fight. Like, I'm really looking forward to it, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. You don't know what's gonna happen, do you? So, yeah, sorry about this shit live, but it's just random, innit? It's not really, it's not scripted, it's not rehearsed, it's not like planned out. I woke up the other morning, yeah, and I got a message from this woman. I don't know who she is. She like messaged me on Instagram, innit? And she was like, yeah, I've just watched your last live. It was really funny. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot better than the last live, the one before that. And I don't know, I appreciate her saying that the live that she just watched was funny and that, but I don't know, like, you shouldn't really critique these videos because they're not really thought out. What it is, I just think, right, I want a drink, so I'm gonna go and get a few bottles and then do a live, and then that's it. It's nothing rehearsed, it's not planned, so you can't really judge me, you know, on these lives. It's like when I boxed Eubank, you know, and I had 4 days notice, like, no excuses, but like, can't really judge me, you know, on these lives, because they're not really planned, are they? You know, Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle, you know, Ricky Gervais, they like go around, you know, to different like venues, and they do like warm-up gigs, and they try out material. It's like trial and error. And if the crowd laugh, there might only be a few people in the crowd, because it's not a proper event, it's just a little warm-up, so there might be like 10 people. So Ricky Gervais, Dave Chappelle, and Kevin Hart, they like try out material. Joe Rogan, he's a stand-up as well, innit? They try it out, innit? and they like perfect it, you know, over the months and months and months, and then they've got the final finale. Yeah. But this is just random, man. I just thought today I'm just gonna go live, so I just did it. Did you record the podcast with the Pakistani guy? You know what? This is what I mean about these lives here. You know, they're not that good, are they? But like, I don't have to like kind of rely on people. These two guys, one of them works for Rob Tebbert, you know, Boxing Social, and the other one, he's doing his thing. So they're both on the ball, you know what I mean? But like with these lives, I don't have to rely on anybody, because we were scheduled to do a podcast, but one of the guys' sister got COVID, so he had to isolate, so we couldn't do it. And then another time, like one of the guys, he had kids in it, and I think his wife was doing the school run. No, he was doing the school run. His wife was going to work while he did the school run, you know, and drop the kids off, and they had to pick them up and all that. So it didn't really happen, but this is what I mean. These lives aren't really that good, are they, boy? You know, because I don't have to rely on anybody. I can just do it. And they live in different cities as well, so I'd have to travel to another city, you know, to do a podcast in a studio. But I do want to do it because, like, I like working with him, innit? But he lives in, like, Bradford. I live in Sheffield. One of them lives in Birmingham. So we're going to have to, like, meet up somewhere and get it done. Yeah? And I used to be a radio presenter. You know, Alan Partridge. I used to watch Alan Partridge, you know, and he was like a little radio presenter, and I used to like the program, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to give that a try. And I became a radio presenter. But you know, the guy that I did it with, he was unreliable. Like, he didn't turn up for like weeks on end, and then he'd turn up, and then he won't turn up for a week, and then he would turn up, and it was just, I just got sick of it. I just thought, fuck it. I'm just going to do my own thing, innit? These lives are sound, mate. I really enjoyed this after a stressful day. That's what it is. This is what I mean. This is what I'm saying to you. Like, these lives, yeah. It's not a fucking Hollywood film, is it? You know, it's not a Netflix comedy special. It's just random, innit? These videos help me as well. They give me a bit of fucking therapy. It's just nice, innit? You know, to diss people. It gets it off your chest. Yeah? Gets you off your chest. You know, when you're dissing people, like, it makes you feel better, don't it? I know it's kind of bullying though, innit? So I don't know how far to go with it. One hour, 20 minutes. Someone said that is a massive forehead. Is it really? I don't think it is it? Considering, comparing. Like, look at that. I like Chris Eubank, Senior. You know, but that hairline's on a different level, innit? Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up, you know. I've enjoyed it. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to wrap it up in it. We're just going to wait for this fight, you know, Liam Williams against Eubank. So we're going to look forward to that, aren't we? I don't know who's going to win. It's hard to say, innit? That's what I like, though. I like not knowing. You know, like the Kell Brook Amir Khan fight. You know, the Skype wanker with his little poppadom chin. And fucking Kel Brook with his little vulnerable, delicate eye sockets. But he's got metal in his eyes now, hasn't he, Kel? So it might help him out. It might help him to fucking be safe, innit? Hold on, one last question, yeah? Talk about the guy that was painting behind Nassim Ahmed and Brendan on the pads. Just a guy, innit? Some guy who used to be a journeyman in the gym. He's black, the black painter and decorator. He was just doing like a little odd job in the gym and that, and he was like turning his back on that iconic moment, you know, of Nassim Ahmed on the pads with Brendan. I'd love to see that. I got to the gym just after Nas left, you know what I mean, and I could tell there was a bit of hostility towards Nassim Ahmed, because, you know, when I'd mention him, like, people would be like, I could tell like they were fucking on edge, like, oh, I don't want to talk about him. And that's what James Helder's like with Coogan. You know, when I go on nights out with James Helder, you know, when I fucking mention Coogan, he gets a bit in his feelings. He gets a bit emotional, man. You don't want to talk about him. And when he like speaks about Coogan, he like refers to him as the other guy. Like I'd say to James, like, who was the first person out of you and Coogan to interview Eddie Hearn? Was it you or was it Coogan? And James Helder would say, it was the other guy. You know what I mean? You could tell there's a lot of bitterness and resentment. Yeah. There's a lot of fucking resentment in there. Like, you know, James Helder, I don't know, he's not really doing well, is he? He's not doing that well, man. Like, I don't want to diss him, innit, but like, let's have a little look at his channel, you know, see how he's getting on. What's his channel called? Full Core Football. Let's have a look here a minute. Full Core Football 24. He was with a big channel, IFL. Nice. He's got this channel here, hasn't he? Full Core Football, 3,000 subscribers. He's interviewing this guy here. Who's that? Tamer Hassan. Who's that? Have you ever heard of him? But saying that, he got 76,000 views. So yeah, that's quite good. He's doing all right. Let's have a look at these other videos. John Sitton. Who's that? Do you know who that is? 2,000 views. Fucking Ija Anderson, 380 views 10 months ago. This fucking guy, Dave Cooper. I don't know who these fuckers are, man. Who are they? Like 600 views in a year. I don't know. It's not that impressive, is it? So he should have probably stayed with Coogan. You know James Helder, yeah. He was with like a successful channel on it, IFL. And they were getting some serious views, you know what I mean? They were getting some serious fucking views, man. Some subscribers, some big sponsors. Look how this ad's on the channel. Skip that ad. This is when they went to Marbella, you know what I mean? You know, when they were little mates. Yeah, that's James Helder, you know, the happier days, you know, before Coogan threw him under the bus. We don't know what happened, do we? I asked James, like, what happened? Like, what exactly happened? You know, when I was on a night out with him and he said, I don't want to talk about it. You know, and he couldn't mention Coogan's name, so I don't know. I don't know if Coogan, like, forged James Helder's signature, you know, and, like, caused him to lose his shares in IFL. Yeah? What happened? Did Daniel El Chapohan, you know, like, hold a gun to James Helder's head and said, you better fucking give up your shares, or you're getting your brain blown out? But he should have took the risk, Sonny James Helder, because he should have called Daniel El Chapahan's bluff, you know, and said, oh, I'm willing to take the risk. You know, I'm willing to lose my life because IFL is a big channel, you know, and I've set up a football channel since, and I'm not really doing that well. His bent legs. He's got a big lump on the back of his head, hasn't he? Have you noticed? Look, you see that lump? He's got like a big lump. You know, like the elephant man. You lot still can't be watching this now, can you? It's been like 1 hour and 20 minutes. You could have watched a good film. You could have watched a good film on Netflix. Have you ever watched Boys in the Hood? I watched that yesterday. Really good film. Have you ever watched Boys in the Hood? You know that film? There's a guy called Lawrence Fishburne. And he was fishing, you know, with his little son. His son was about 12, innit? 12 years old. And you know, the dad, he was like talking to his son about sex, you know, giving him that talk. You know, telling him like not to fuck around with women without a condom and, you know, have a load of baby mamas and fucking pay out a load of child support and get diseases and all that. You know, that was a good part of that film. But I don't think most dads talk to their kids like that, do they? You need to talk to your sons, man, and tell them to wear a condom, innit? You know, like, so they don't have a load of baby mamas. You know, if I had a load of baby mamas, I won't be able to do these videos now and sit down here and talk shit. Because I'd have to be in bed, you know, because I'd have work in the morning, you know, in a fucking factory. You know, because I've got to get that money, child support. So, like, I don't know. You have to fucking wear a condom, man. I used to have cramps. You know, back in the days, and they really itched. Tying you bum dosser. Don't go, G. Your lives are brilliant, G. Just what we all need, man. Come on. Yeah, I don't know. I need to step it up, man. I need to do some kind of documentaries like Louis Theroux. He went to go and interview Jimmy Savile, didn't he? You know, Jimmy Savile, we used to get like privileges, you know, from the Queen. You know, the royal family, they used to like give him the keys, you know, to the mental hospital, and he used to like sneak in there at 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, and like bang some fucking underage, mentally deranged girls. It's a bit fucked up. He was part of that little circle, you know, that little Jeffrey Epstein, Barry Earn circle. He was a part of that, wasn't he? He's right, bro. Your lives are good. You worry too much. You know what I do, you know? You know when I used to go to the boxing gym? I used to walk into the gym, yeah, after getting off a bus. I used to walk to the gym from the bus stop, you know, my little Primark shoes. And I used to get to the gym and I'd see like these big fancy cars. You know, Kell Brook's fancy car, Billy Joe Saunders' fancy car, Johnny Nelson's fancy car. Do you know what I mean? I'd see all these fancy cars outside the gym. And I'd like get off a bus and like walk to the gym, and I'd just feel like a lowlife. And I'd go into the gym and I'd see like Billy Joe Saunders over there, a multi-millionaire world champion. I'd see Kell Brook over there, a multi-millionaire world champ. You know, I'd see all these fucking people like Brendan Ingle who made a shitload of money. And I just felt like a low life. This is like towards the end, innit, of my career. At the start, I didn't mind because I looked at like Johnny Nelson as like inspiration. So even though I was broke, like I looked at Johnny as like a inspirator, you know what I mean? So, but you know, when I started to fuck up and I lost to Eubank and I was going downhill, I had like imposter syndrome, you know, where I felt a bit inadequate. You know, being around all these top guys, I felt like a fucking lowlife. But I feel a bit better, you know, after setting up this channel here. It's not really the buzz of me beating up that little fucking muppet Marcus Morrison. You know, that buzz of beating him, even though he's a nobody. That buzz is bigger than anything. Any woman I've fucked some nice women, believe it or not. I used to tell women I was a world champion boxer and I was a big time success, and they were fooled. They were fooled, man. They were fooled. They thought they were meeting Kell Brook. Yeah, but they were meeting me. But, you know, because they made the effort to come round, they thought, oh, I made the effort to come round, I may as well fuck him. So I had some good sex, innit? Why am I talking about this, though? What made me get onto sex talk? Yeah, I can't remember. Why was I just talking about fucking women? I hate when I do that, you know, when I kind of lose track of what I was saying. But you've got all your crypto, chin up, mate. Yep. I've got like thousands and thousands of pounds of crypto. And you know, when it gets to a new all-time high, I'm just going to fuck off. I'm going to do like vlogs. The reason why I don't do vlogs of me like going out and about and doing this and doing that, I don't fucking do anything. I'm just sat here all the time like a dosser. You know what I mean? I'm a bit of a low life. So, you know, once this crypto takes off, I'm just going to sell it. And just fucking live life, innit? Coogan's in Cardiff, innit? Right, 1.5 hours. I'm overdoing it, man. But people give me money, people send interest in chat. Someone just give me £10. Snores, Rick. Give me a nice little tenner. Thanks for that. He says, here's a tenner. Don't spend it on Echo 4s. Get the bus back to the boxing gym. Quit wasting your talent. Yeah. That's it, innit? It's just bad timing, innit? It's bad timing. You know, when I used to box, I sold like 20 tickets. You know, when I boxed on a Carl Froch undercard in my hometown of Nottingham. You know, on a Sky Sports world title undercard. I sold like 20 tickets. Like, all my family are broke. So to buy like a £40 ticket to watch me box, it's not worth it. So I wasn't like a sell, if you know what I mean. Have you ever watched Johnny Nelson box? I like Johnny, but he wasn't that interesting. He used to call himself the entertainer. Johnny the Entertainer Nelson, but his style wasn't really entertaining. And mine was like that. It was a bit boring. So it's hard for me to sell tickets, you know, to my broke family who work in factories for £9 an hour. So I was always like the B side, you know. I had to box Eubank, you know, at 4 days, and Liam Williams, and fucking this guy who was a 3-time European champ, Proxer. I boxed him, and yeah, man. Shout out to Almas for the £5 super chat. Go on live for the next hour. Also, please upload your old videos, bro. I've been waiting for 2 years now. Yeah, I'm gonna dig them out. There's somewhere, they're on one of my hard drives, so I need to fucking dig them out. You know, the old videos, because I prefer them, innit? But what you have to remember about them old videos is, you know, when I used to do my old videos and I used to just say anything, and I used to be sexist and racist and homophobic, and I used to have got transsexuals like Frank Maloney. I used to go all out, you know, but you know, because YouTube are a bit fucking sensitive, I was getting paid like £60 a month, you know what I mean? A month. So this live here now, I've got fucking way more than what I'd get in a month. So even though these videos aren't as good as they were, it's like, it's better money in it, and you have to kind of go for the bag. You know, Eddie Earn, he's gone downhill, you know, since he's gone to DAZN. And like, you know, the new Sky Sports promoter, Ben Schlong, he's kind of fucking, Eddie Earn went where the money is. So you have to kind of do that, don't you? I don't want to go back to working in Amazon, you know, some dead-end factory job. So yeah, I just have to go where the money is, innit? But yeah, that'll do, you know. I can't do this for 2 hours, even though I'd like to. It's almost milking it too much, and it's going too far. It's too long, innit? Too long, like 2 hours. People are still watching. There's hundreds and hundreds of people watching. Like, why are you still watching though? Like, why don't you watch Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society or Juice, you know, with Tupac? Or I went to HMV today, you know. I was gonna buy a film. I was gonna buy a fucking Bruce Lee film. You know, Game of Death. But yeah, 2 hours is too long, man. You can watch a good film in that time. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks to everybody for watching, for commenting, for subscribing, for giving me a nice little super chat. Appreciate it. Shout out to Declan Core. Appreciate that. Give me £5 and said pop a few little fellas like Nigel Benn. Yeah, that's it, innit? Yes, it's like a therapy session. I enjoy it. I was watching a video of True Geordie the other day, and he was like saying like he was really depressed, suicidal, you know, he was drinking whiskey, you know, to take his mind off of his mum passing away, and you know, he lost a big sponsorship deal, you know, and he was just kind of getting into it with fucking some little whatever, and he was talking about how he was depressed, you know what I mean, and it was quite interesting. And he said he takes antidepressants and all that. I don't think I'm really like at that kind of level yet. I think these lives help me out. It's like therapy, innit? You know, someone just said R.I.P. Tupac's fingers. So obviously Tupac got shot, didn't he? And he had to get his fingers cut off, you know, when he was having surgery. So his mum said, just turn off the life support machine because my son, Tupac, he's got too much pride. You know, he won't be able to live with Biggie Smalls, you know, in a rap battle if he's got fingers missing. Because Biggie Smalls was quite, yeah, he was quite like that, wasn't he? He was quite on the ball, so he would have fucking destroyed Tupac, wouldn't he? So his mum just turned off the life support machine, and yeah, that's interesting little story, but yeah, that'll do, you know. That'll do. It's been good. It's been enjoyable. We're gonna squeeze in another one before the Liam Williams Eubank fight, but yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Yeah, thanks for that.